Hello, English learners, and welcome to another lesson with English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you a great Christmas lesson.
That's right. We've got a lot of Christmas vocabulary in today's lesson for you.
Yeah, it's almost Christmas time, so everyone is getting into the spirit, especially here at English Pod. So we're going to teach you a little bit more about this.
Speaking of the spirit, I think it's time for us to look at our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
So in this part of our show, we'll look at some key language in the dialogue that you'll need to know to understand the dialogue. And actually, today we only have one word.
Eggnog.
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 E-G-G-N-O-G. Eggnog.
So eggnog is a really popular Christmas drink.
It's a traditional Christmas drink.
Right. What is it made of?
Eggs, cream, sugar, and usually rum.
Rum. Oh, so it has alcohol.
Yeah, normally it has alcohol.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. There's actually a drink very similar to this in Chile.
Really?
Yep. They call it monkey tail.
So in Spanish, that would be
Cola de mono.
Very nice.
Yeah, so it's actually really, really good. And it's really similar to eggnog.
Okay, well, with that in mind, let's take a listen to our dialogue for the first time.
Welcome, everyone. Imagine this. It's Christmas Eve. Snow is falling, gifts are ready, and suddenly a police officer stops Santa Claus. Sounds impossible, right? Well, today we have a funny story that will help you learn useful English in a fun and easy way.
That's right, and this story is full of practical English. You'll learn vocabulary, useful expressions, and natural conversation patterns. So picture the scene. Santa is driving late at night when a police officer says, "License and registration, please." That's a common phrase during a traffic stop.
Exactly. A license is the official document that allows you to drive. Registration is proof that the vehicle belongs to you. Speaking of vehicles, remember that a vehicle is not only a car. A bus, truck, motorcycle, and even Santa's sleigh can be called vehicles.
Now here comes the funny part. The officer asks, "Have you been drinking tonight, sir?" Santa answers, "I had 1 or 2 glasses of eggnog." Eggnog is a traditional Christmas drink. Even if you never drink it, this word often appears in Christmas movies, songs, and conversations.
Then the officer becomes suspicious and says, "Step out of the vehicle, please." This is a very useful phrase. Step out simply means leave a place for a short time. For example, I stepped out of the office for 5 minutes, or she stepped out to answer a phone call.
Here's another great expression from the story. Get a load of this guy. Native speakers use this when they want someone to look at something surprising, strange, or funny. For example, get a load of this cake, it's enormous. Or, get a load of that car, it's covered in flowers.
I love that phrase because it sounds very natural, and learners should remember that English becomes more interesting when you learn real expressions, not only grammar rules. Small phrases like "get a load of this" can make your English sound more confident and natural.
Absolutely. And there's another lesson hidden in this story. Sometimes unexpected situations happen in life. Santa planned to deliver presents, but suddenly he faced a problem. In English, we often say, "We've got ourselves a situation here." It simply means there is a problem that needs attention.
That's a fantastic expression. Imagine your computer stops working before an important meeting. You could say, "Well, we've got ourselves a situation here." It sounds natural and even a little humorous depending on the situation.
So today, we learned several useful expressions while enjoying a funny Christmas story. We met Santa, a police officer, a sleigh, eggnog, and a surprising traffic stop. And most importantly, we learned that English becomes easier when vocabulary is connected to memorable stories and real-life situations.
The situation gets even funnier when the police officer looks into the back of Santa's sleigh and sees a huge pile of gifts. Imagine being the officer for a moment. You stop a strange driver on Christmas Eve, and suddenly you find hundreds of presents. That would definitely raise some questions. So the officer asks, "Do you have an invoice for these items?" An invoice is a document that shows what was bought or sold. It's a very useful business word that learners often hear in offices, shops, and online stores.
That's a great vocabulary point. For example, if you buy a new computer for your company, you might receive an invoice by email. If a customer has a question about a payment, someone might ask, "Do you still have the invoice?" Learning these practical words can really help in everyday English and professional situations.
Now imagine Santa's answer. Instead of showing an invoice, he calmly explains that he made the gifts himself in his workshop. That's a funny response, but it teaches us another useful word, workshop. A workshop is a place where people make or repair things. An artist may have a workshop, a carpenter may have a workshop. And according to the story, Santa has a workshop at the North Pole filled with toys and gifts.
I like that because it helps learners connect vocabulary with images. When you hear workshop, picture a room with tools, materials, and people creating things. Visualizing words is one of the best ways to remember them. The stronger the image, the easier the word stays in your memory.
Then the officer becomes serious and says something many people know from movies. You are under arrest. The word arrest means that the police officially take someone into custody because they believe a law has been broken. It's a common word in crime shows, news reports, and legal conversations.
Exactly. You might hear sentences like, "The suspect was arrested yesterday," or "The police arrested 3 people after the incident." Even if you never use this word yourself, it's important to understand it because it appears frequently in English media.
What makes this story funny is the contrast. Santa is known as a kind and cheerful character who delivers gifts, yet here he is being treated like a suspect. That unexpected situation creates humor. English learners should pay attention to this because humor often comes from surprises and contrasts.
That's an excellent observation. Understanding humor can also improve listening skills. Sometimes the words are simple, but the funny part comes from the situation itself. In this story, the image of Santa explaining himself to a police officer is what makes listeners smile.
And there's a useful learning tip here. When you learn a new word like invoice, workshop, or arrest, don't memorize only the definition. Create your own sentence. For example, I lost the invoice for my new phone, or my grandfather has a small workshop behind his house. This makes the vocabulary active instead of passive.
That's one of the fastest ways to build confidence in English. The more personal your examples are, the easier they become to remember. And in today's funny Christmas story, we've already collected several practical words that you can start using in real conversations right away.
Now the story becomes even more interesting. After telling Santa that he is under arrest, the police officer starts reading his rights. This is something you often hear in movies and TV shows. One famous sentence is, "You have the right to remain silent." The word remain means stay, so remain silent simply means stay quiet. Even if you never hear this phrase in real life, it is very common in English films, series, and news reports.
That's true. And learning phrases from stories is a great way to improve your English naturally. Instead of memorizing single words, you learn complete expressions. For example, you can use remain calm during a difficult situation or remain focused when working on an important project. The structure stays the same, but the meaning changes slightly.
Then, the officer continues reading the rights, but suddenly something funny happens. Santa starts saying words from a Christmas song instead of responding normally. This creates a very humorous moment because the serious situation and the cheerful Christmas lyrics do not match. Humor in English often comes from putting two completely different situations together.
Exactly. And understanding this kind of humor can improve your listening skills. Many English jokes are based on surprise. The listener expects one thing but hears something different. When you learn to recognize these patterns, movies, podcasts, and conversations become much easier to understand.
Another useful word from this part of the story is attorney. An attorney is a lawyer. In everyday English, people often use both words. For example, someone might say, "I need to speak with my attorney," or "She hired a lawyer to help her." Both are correct and both are useful vocabulary words to know.
And there's another important word connected to that, appoint. In the story, the officer explains that if someone cannot afford an attorney, the state may appoint one. The word appoint means to officially choose someone for a job or responsibility. For example, a company might appoint a new manager, or a government might appoint a new official.
Let's practice that with simple examples. The school appointed a new principal. The company appointed Sarah as team leader. Notice that we appoint people, not objects. You can appoint a person, but you cannot appoint a chair, a phone, or a sandwich. That would sound very strange.
That's a great grammar tip. Learning how words are used is just as important as learning what they mean. Many learners know the definition of a word, but are not sure how native speakers actually use it. The more examples you hear, the more natural your English becomes.
What I also like about this story is that Santa stays focused on his mission. While everyone else is talking about rules and procedures, he keeps thinking about delivering gifts. This reminds us of an important lesson. When you have a goal, don't give up too quickly just because you face a problem.
That's a wonderful point. Whether you are learning English, starting a new job, or working toward a personal dream, challenges will appear. The key is to keep moving forward. Just like Santa wants to finish delivering presents, English learners should continue practicing every day, one small step at a time.
At this point, Santa is becoming more worried. He isn't thinking about himself anymore. He's thinking about all the children waiting for their presents. Then he says something very important. It's Christmas Eve. I have presents to deliver. The verb deliver is extremely useful in everyday English. It means to take something to a person or place. For example, a company delivers packages, a restaurant delivers food, and a mail carrier delivers letters.
That's a word learners hear all the time. You might say, my package was delivered this morning, or the pizza will be delivered in 30 minutes. Because online shopping is so common today, deliver is one of those practical words that can be useful almost anywhere in the world.
Now let's talk about Santa's famous vehicle, the sleigh. A sleigh is a special vehicle that travels over snow and ice. Unlike a car, it usually does not have wheels. In Christmas stories, Santa's sleigh is pulled by reindeer. It's a wonderful example of how culture and language are connected.
Exactly. When learning English, understanding cultural references can make a huge difference. If you watch a Christmas movie and hear words like sleigh, reindeer, or North Pole, you immediately understand the scene. Vocabulary becomes much easier when you connect it to stories and images.
Then comes one of the funniest moments in the story. Santa realizes he is in trouble, so he calls out to his reindeer for help. Imagine the scene. A police officer is trying to handle a serious situation, while Santa is worried about his magical team. The contrast makes the story memorable and entertaining.
And memorable stories are great for language learning. Think about it. Why do people remember movie quotes for years? Because stories create emotions. When vocabulary is connected to a funny or surprising moment, your brain remembers it more easily than a simple list of words.
That's why I always tell learners to learn English through stories, conversations, and real situations. If you only study grammar rules, you may forget them. But if you connect a word to an interesting event, it stays in your mind much longer. For example, every time you hear sleigh, you might remember Santa being stopped by the police.
That's a fantastic learning strategy. Another good habit is repeating useful phrases aloud. For example, step out of the vehicle. We've got ourselves a situation here. Don't take that tone with me. Repeating complete phrases helps you speak more naturally because your brain learns the rhythm of English.
And don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner. The goal is not perfection. The goal is communication. If people understand you, you are already making progress. Confidence grows little by little with practice.
Absolutely. The learners who improve the fastest are usually the ones who keep going even when things feel difficult. They listen, repeat, read, and practice regularly. Just a few minutes every day can create amazing results over time. And that's one of the most important lessons hidden inside this funny Christmas story.
One thing I really enjoy about this story is how it mixes serious language with a funny situation. A police officer is doing his job, Santa is trying to save Christmas, and English learners get to discover useful vocabulary at the same time. That's the beauty of learning through stories. You're not just studying words, you're seeing how people actually use them in real conversations. When language has a context, it becomes easier to understand and remember.
That's so true. Let's think about some of the expressions we heard. Get a load of this is a fun way to say, look at this. Step out is a natural phrase you can use in many situations. We've got ourselves a situation here is a friendly and interesting way to talk about a problem. These are the kinds of expressions that make your English sound more natural and less like a textbook.
And here's an important lesson for every learner listening today. Don't worry if you don't understand every word the first time. Even advanced learners sometimes miss words or phrases. The key is to stay curious. Listen again, notice new vocabulary, and enjoy the process. Language learning is not a race, it's a journey, and every new word is another step forward.
Exactly. The most successful learners are not always the smartest. They are often the most consistent. They practice a little every day. They listen to podcasts, repeat useful phrases, read simple articles, and keep going even when progress feels slow. Small efforts repeated many times create big results.
And just like Santa in our story, don't let obstacles stop you from reaching your goal. Maybe your pronunciation isn't perfect yet. Maybe grammar feels difficult sometimes. Maybe speaking makes you nervous. That's completely normal. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in your progress. Every conversation you have makes you stronger and more confident.
I love that message. English is not only about vocabulary and grammar, it's about connecting with people, sharing ideas, and opening new opportunities. Every sentence you learn today can help you communicate better tomorrow. So celebrate every improvement, no matter how small it seems.
And remember, learning should be enjoyable.
Stories, humor, and interesting conversations can make English feel less like work and more like an adventure. The more you enjoy the process, the more likely you are to continue. That's why fun stories like Santa's Christmas arrest can be such powerful learning tools.
We hope today's conversation gave you useful expressions, practical vocabulary, and a little motivation to continue improving your English. If you enjoyed this lesson and found it helpful, make sure to like the video, share it with other English learners, subscribe for more learning content, and leave a comment telling us which new word or phrase you like the most. Your participation helps build a stronger learning community, and hearing your thoughts makes these lessons even more meaningful.
I hate working on Christmas Eve. Whoa, get a load of this guy. Come in, Central. I think we got ourselves a situation here. License and registration, please. Have you been drinking tonight, sir?
I had 1 or 2 glasses of eggnog, but nothing else.
Step out of the vehicle, please. Sir, what do you have in the back?
Just a few Christmas gifts. 'Tis the season, after all.
Don't take that tone with me. Do you have an invoice for these items?
Oh, no. I make these in my workshop in the North Pole.
You are under arrest, sir. You have the right to remain silent. You better not pout. You better not cry. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, the state will appoint one for you. Do you understand these rights that have just been read to you?
You can't take me to jail. What about my sleigh? It's Christmas Eve. I have presents to deliver. Rudolph, Prancer, Dancer, get help!
Well, I did not see that one coming.
That was interesting. Santa Claus is being taken to jail.
What's going to happen next, Marco?
I don't know. We'll talk about that in a little while. Let's take a look at some language from this dialogue.
Language takeaway.
So the first word that we have on our language takeaway today is vehicle.
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 Vehicle. So this is a vehicle. And this is a vehicle. And this is a vehicle.
So all of those are vehicles. Now, I thought that a vehicle was a car specifically.
No, any machine that carries people from one place to another is a vehicle.
Great. All right. Let's take a look now at our second word, attorney.
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 So what is an attorney?
A lawyer.
Well, that's simple enough.
Yep, a lawyer.
Let's move to our third word, which is
Appoint.
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 So appoint means choose.
Okay, so the president of a country might appoint his chief of staff.
Right? Or I can appoint my attorney.
True. So can you appoint a thing? Can I appoint my coffee cup?
No. You only use it for people. You choose someone.
Okay,
You can't choose something.
So I appoint someone.
Exactly.
All right, let's move to our final word.
Slay.
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 So Erica, you're from Canada. You can tell us about sleighs.
All right, a sleigh is a vehicle that is pulled by a horse and travels over snow or ice.
Okay.
So, you know, like Santa drives a sleigh.
He drives a sleigh. So do you drive a sleigh or ride a sleigh?
Good question. Well, the song says you ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Right, okay.
Well, you know what? I think it's time for us to look at some interesting phrases that we found in this dialogue. So let's look at putting it together.
Putting it together.
Today on Putting It Together, we have two great phrases for you. And let's take a look at the first one. Step out.
Step out.
Step out.
So step out means to go out of a place for a short period of time.
Right. So in our dialogue, for example, the police officer said, step out of the vehicle.
Get out of your vehicle.
You can also say, step out of the office.
You can say, I just stepped out of the shower.
Right. Now, we can also say, step in.
It's the opposite.
The opposite, right?
I can ask Marco, step into my office for a moment.
Uh-oh. Okay. So that's step out and step in. Great phrases. Let's take a look at our final phrase. Get a load of.
Get a load of.
Get a load of.
So when I say get a load of something, I mean look at, right?
Right. Look at this guy. Get a load of this guy.
Yeah, that's what we heard in the dialogue. Now, you can use this phrase in a number of different ways, and we have some examples for you.
Example 1.
Get a load of this. A war has started in Antarctica.
Example 2.
Get a load of that house. It's so big.
Example 3.
Get a load of him. He's wearing a pink suit.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of interesting words and phrases, so we are ready to listen to our dialogue a second time. But this time it's going to be a little bit slower so we can pick up all these great words.
I hate working on Christmas Eve. Whoa, get a load of this guy. Come in, Central. I think we got ourselves a situation here. License and registration, please. Have you been drinking tonight, sir?
I had 1 or 2 glasses of eggnog, but nothing else.
Step out of the vehicle, please. Sir, what do you have in the back?
Just a few Christmas gifts. 'Tis the season, after all.
Don't take that tone with me. Do you have an invoice for these items?
No. I make these in my workshop in the North Pole.
You are under arrest, sir. You have the right to remain silent. You better not pout. You better not cry. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the state will appoint one for you. Do you understand all these rights that have just been read to you?
You can't take me to jail. What about my sleigh? It's Christmas Eve. I have presents to deliver. Rudolph, Prancer, Dancer, get help.
Okay, so we noticed some really great words and phrases, and with this, now we can start with some Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Today on Fluency Builder, we have 2 great phrases that you can use to sound a little bit more natural when you speak.
That's right. Our first phrase you can use if you want to say, don't speak to me like that.
Don't take that tone with me. Don't take that tone with me.
So you often hear this phrase coming out of the mouth of a mother or a father.
Yeah, when their children are maybe talking back.
Yeah.
Don't take that tone with me, young man. I used to get that a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay, our second phrase, we use it when we have a problem.
The phrase we heard in the dialogue was, I think we've got ourselves a situation here. Let's listen to another example.
Houston, we've got ourselves a situation here. Houston, we've got ourselves a situation here.
Sometimes I use this phrase when I want to tell my boss that I have a problem. I might say, boss, I've got a bit of a situation. Can you help me with it?
Okay, yeah, I have a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, useful phrases, hey?
Really useful phrases. Great stuff. So now we can listen to our dialogue a final time, and this time we can understand everything that's in it.
I hate working on Christmas Eve. Whoa, get a load of this guy. Come in, Central. I think we got ourselves a situation here. License and registration, please. Have you been drinking tonight, sir?
I had 1 or 2 glasses of eggnog, but nothing else.
Step out of the vehicle, please. Sir, what do you have in the back?
Just a few Christmas gifts. 'Tis the season, after all.
Don't take that tone with me. Do you have an invoice for these items?
Oh, no. I make these in my workshop in the North Pole.
You are under arrest, sir. You have the right to remain silent. You better not pout. You better not cry. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, the state will appoint one for you. Do you understand these rights that have just been read to you?
You can't take me to jail. What about my sleigh? It's Christmas Eve. I have presents to deliver. Rudolph, Prancer, Dancer, get help!
So when the police officer was arresting Santa Claus, he said something a little bit strange, hey?
Yeah, he said, you better not pout, you better not cry.
Now, are those part of the normal rights that a police officer reads?
No. They're not part of the normal rights. It's actually from a Christmas song, so let's listen
to play there instead of us having to sing.
Yeah, but that's great because if the children cry or if they are not good kids, then Santa Claus will not give them presents.
Uh-oh.
So that's why.
Okay, listeners, I hope that you're not pouting. I hope you're not crying. But it's time for us to go. So
be sure to go to our website at englishpod.com and be sure to leave all your questions and comments and maybe some of your Christmas stories.
All right, thanks for listening. And until next time,
Bye.
Goodbye.